Be me, 28-year-old woman living her best life. Degree in gender studies, active in local feminist circles. Have this guy friend Jake I've known since college. He's like 6'2", works in tech, makes good money, actually listens when I talk, perfect emotional support friend. Always there when I need to vent about the patriarchy or my latest dating disaster. We hang out like twice a week. He buys me coffee, drives me places, helps me move apartments 3 times. I date other guys obviously because I'm a strong independent woman exploring my options. Dated this DJ named Trent for a while. Total fuckboy, but the sex was amazing. Jake would always be there to comfort me when Trent inevitably acted like trash. Then dated Marcus, who was finding himself, which apparently meant smoking weed and not having a job. Jake listened to me cry about that too. Sometimes wonder if Jake has feelings for me, but that's his problem, you know. I never led him on or anything. I'm just being myself, and if he chose to be a good friend, that's on him. It's not my job to manage his emotions. That's actually a form of emotional labor that women shouldn't have to perform. One day, I'm at a feminist book club, and we're discussing this amazing text about how men need to do better, to go on a rant about how men always expect something in return for basic human decency. All the women nod and snap their fingers in agreement. Feel so validated and seen. Later that week, my car breaks down and I immediately text Jake. He's always helped me with car stuff before. Wait for his response. 3 hours go by. Finally, he texts back, "Sorry, busy today. Try calling AAA. What the fuck? Whatever. Maybe he's actually busy for once. Call AAA myself like a strong, independent woman, even though it cost me $150 for the tow. A few days later, I have a bad date with this guy from Hinge who spent the whole time talking about crypto. Text Jake, asking if he wants to get drinks so I can download. He says, "Can't tonight. Have plans. Don't even ask what plans or apologize for canceling on me. This is weird, but okay." Week goes by, and he doesn't text me at all. This never happens. Usually he checks in every couple days. Finally text him, "Hey stranger, feel like you've been distant lately. Everything okay?" He responds, "Yeah, all good, just been focusing on other things." Other things? What other things? Ask if he wants to do our usual Tuesday coffee. "I'm good, thanks though." Starting to get actually concerned now. This continues for like 3 weeks. He's barely responding to my messages. No more offers to help with stuff. No more long conversations. See him post on Instagram that he's at some hiking thing. He's with a group of people I don't even know. When did Jake become someone who hikes with random people? Comment on the post, "Wow, didn't know you hiked. Looks fun." He just likes the comment, doesn't respond. Okay, now I'm actually upset. Vent about this to my roommate Sage, who's also a radical feminist. "It's so typical," I tell her. "Men are only nice to you when they want something, and the second they don't get it, they disappear. Jake is showing his true colors as another toxic male." Sage listens and nods, but she has this weird look on her face. "Did you ever think maybe he just moved on?" she asks. "Moved on from what? Our friendship?" "Maybe he decided to focus his energy elsewhere. I'm actually offended by this. We've been friends for 6 years, Sage. Friends. He doesn't get to just disappear because I won't fuck him." "Did he say that's what this is about?" Sage asks. "Well, no. But what else could it be? Men are so predictable." Decide I need to confront this head-on like the strong woman I am. Text Jake asking if we can talk. Takes him a full day to respond, "Sure," when works. We meet at a coffee shop, neutral territory. He shows up looking different. He's dressed better. Did something different with his hair. Seems more confident somehow. Actually takes me a second to process. We sit down and I'm ready to have a serious conversation about how his behavior has been hurtful. So, I start, "I feel like you've been really distant lately, and I want to understand what's going on." He takes a sip of his coffee and just looks at me calmly. "I've been working on myself," he says, expanding my social circle, trying new things. "Okay, but what about our friendship?" I ask. "What about it?" he says. Is he serious right now? "Jake, we've been close friends for years, and suddenly you're acting like I barely exist." He's quiet for a moment. "I think our friendship was unbalanced," he finally says. "Unbalanced?" "I was putting in a lot of emotional energy, and I realized I was doing it because I had feelings for you." Here it comes. I fucking knew it. And I realized that wasn't healthy for me, he continues. So I decided to step back and invest in other relationships and in myself. Wait, what? That's not how this is supposed to go. So what? You're punishing me because I didn't want to date you? I ask, feeling my anger rise. This is classic nice guy behavior, Jake. He actually laughs a little, which pisses me off more. I'm not punishing you, he says. I'm just choosing how I spend my time and energy. You have every right to not be interested in me romantically, and I have every right to decide our dynamic doesn't work for me. I literally cannot believe what I'm hearing. So our entire friendship meant nothing to you? My voice is getting louder. It was just you trying to get in my pants this whole time? It meant something, he says calmly. But I can't separate my feelings from our friendship, so I need space. That's incredibly selfish, I tell him. You're throwing away years of friendship because you can't handle rejection like an adult. He finishes his coffee and stands up. I'm not arguing about this, he says. I wish you well, genuinely, but I need to do what's right for Dog. Me. And he just leaves. I sit there completely stunned. What the actual fuck just happened? Rush home and immediately call an emergency session with my feminist collective. We all meet at Sage's apartment. There's me, Sage, plus Hannah, Zoe, and Jade. I explain the whole situation, expecting complete solidarity. He's clearly a nice guy, I conclude, pretending to be my friend just to try to date me. And now he's butthurt that I didn't fall for it, so he's cutting me off, expecting everyone to be outraged on my behalf. But they're all quiet. What? I demand. Hannah speaks first, carefully. I mean, is it wrong that he decided to protect his own emotional health? Whose side are you on? I snap. It's not about sides, Zoe chimes in, but we always talk about boundaries and emotional labor. If the friendship was causing him pain, isn't it healthy that he stepped back? I cannot believe this betrayal. He was never really my friend then, I say. He was just waiting for his chance. Did he ever make you uncomfortable? Jade asks. Did he ever pressure you or guilt you? I think about this. Well, no, but did he ever explicitly state he expected a relationship? Sage asks. That's not the point. I'm almost yelling now. He should have been my friend regardless of whether I wanted to date him. But you weren't really his friend either, Hannah says quietly. Everyone goes silent. Excuse me? I say. When's the last time you asked him about his life? Hannah continues. Really asked, not just as a preamble to talking about yours. When's the last time you were there for him the way he was there for you? My mind is racing. We hung out all the time. Yeah, doing what? Zoe asks, not unkindly. Watching movies you wanted to watch? Going to places you needed to go? Did you ever drive him somewhere? Help him move? Comfort him when he was upset? I'm trying to think of examples, but I'm drawing a blank. That's not fair, I say. He never asked me for those things. Did he ask you? Sage says. Or did you just expect it because he was always willing, feeling like the walls are closing in? This is ridiculous, I say. You're all defending a man who ditched me because I wouldn't sleep with him. He didn't ditch you because of that, Hannah says. He stepped back because the friendship was hurting him. That's the same thing, I insist. Is it though? Jade asks. I leave Sage's apartment feeling betrayed and confused. How did I become the bad guy in this situation? Spend the next few days doom-scrolling and posting about it in various online feminist spaces, looking for validation that Jake is a typical nice guy and I did nothing wrong. Get some agreement, but also a lot of responses I don't like. You're not entitled to his friendship, one person comments. It sounds like you were using him for emotional support while dating other people, another says. This is internalized misogyny. I reply, women can have male friends without it being romantic. Of course they can, but was he really your friend, or was he your emotional support human? Someone else asks. Close my laptop in frustration. A few weeks go by and I keep seeing Jake's Instagram posts. He's at a concert with people I don't recognize. He's at a party, smiling in a way I rarely saw when we hung out. He's posted a photo with a girl. She's pretty. They're at some art gallery. Caption just says, "Great evening." Feel a weird pang in my chest. It's not jealousy, I tell myself. I never wanted to date Jake. I just miss my friend. Or do I? Start actually thinking about our friendship for the first time. really thinking about it. He always texted first. He always made the plans. He always accommodated my schedule. He listened to me talk about other guys. He helped me with everything I needed. And what did I do? I showed up. I talked. I vented. I accepted his help. But did I ever ask him about his day and actually listen? Did I ever prioritize his needs over mine? Did I ever even consider that he had needs? Shit. No. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to internalize patriarchal guilt. I did nothing wrong. I was clear about my boundaries. I never promised him anything. Except, did I? By accepting all his help, all his emotional support, all his time. Did I implicitly promise something? No, that's ridiculous. Women don't owe men anything. But do friends owe friends something? My brain feels like it's short-circuiting. Decide to lurk on some of the men's forums I usually hate read. Find threads about the Friendzone. Always thought this was such entitled bullshit. Men complaining that women won't reward their basic decency with sex. But I'm reading these posts differently now. Some of them are exactly what I thought, entitled assholes. But some of them are different. I realized I was in a one-sided friendship, one guy writes. I was always there for her, but she was never there for. I didn't end the friendship to punish her. I ended it because it hurt too much. Another post. I don't hate her for not liking me back. I just can't be around her romantically interested when she sees me as a utility. A utility. Is that what Jake was to me? No, we were friends. But the more I think about specific memories, the more I realize that time I called him at 2 a.m. because I was drunk and needed a ride, and he came even though he had work at 6 a.m. Did I ever return that kind of favor? That time he spent his whole Saturday helping me build IKEA furniture. Did I even buy him lunch? I think he bought lunch. That time I needed a date to my sister's wedding so I wouldn't look pathetic, and he went with me. Wore a suit, danced with my aunts, was charming and perfect. And I complained the whole time about my ex being there with someone new. Oh my God. I'm spiraling now, going through years of memories, viewing them through a different lens. Every coffee where I talked, for an hour, about my problems. Every time he helped me with something. Every time he was there. What did I give him? My presence? Is that enough? I always thought it was. I'm interesting. I'm fun. I'm attractive. Wasn't the gift of my friendship enough? But I wouldn't accept that from a romantic partner. If a boyfriend only ever took and never gave, I'd call him toxic. I'd call him a user. I'd call him exactly what I was to Jake. No. I need to talk to someone about this. Call my mom, which I rarely do. Sweetie, I wondered when you'd call about this, she says. What do you mean? I ask. Jake was a sweet boy, she says. Maybe too sweet for his own good. You knew he liked me? Everyone knew he liked you, honey, except maybe you. Why didn't you say anything? I demand. Would you have listened? She asks. She's right. I wouldn't have. He made his choice to be there for you, Mom continues. And now he's made his choice to step back. You're both adults. You'll both be fine. But I miss him, I admit, and saying it out loud makes it real. Then maybe you should think about what you're actually missing, she says. Are you missing him, or are you missing what he did for you? That question haunts me for days. What am I missing? I'm missing having someone to call when I need something. I'm missing having someone who always has time for me. I'm missing having someone who makes me feel important and listened to. I'm missing... oh fuck. I'm missing having someone who serves me. That's not a friend. That's not even a friendship. That's just me using someone. No wonder he left. Try to rationalize it in my head. Maybe I can reach out, apologize. We can rebuild the friendship as equals. Draft like 15 different texts to him. Delete them all. What would I even say? Sorry I took advantage of your feelings for me for 6 years, but let's be actual friends now. He's moved on. He's clearly happier. I see it in every Instagram post. He's lighter. Somehow. More himself. Was he weighed down by me this whole time? Decide to bring this up in Feminist book club again. We're discussing emotional labor, and I find myself speaking up. What if... I say carefully, we're so focused on not being emotional laborers for men that we don't notice when we're making men perform emotional labor for us? The room goes quiet. I mean, I continue, We talk about not being therapists for our boyfriends, but what about our male friends who are basically therapists for us? Aren't they entitled to boundaries too? Hannah looks at me with something like pride. That's actually really insightful, she says. We have this whole discussion about reciprocity in friendships, about how feminism should mean equality, not just advocating for women's right to take. It's the first time I've felt like I'm actually learning something in months, and weeks turn into months. I actually work on myself, like really work on myself. Start therapy, which I probably should have done years ago. Therapist asks me a lot of uncomfortable questions. Do you think you've used feminist theory to justify selfish behavior? She asks one session. Want to be offended, but I'm trying to be honest with myself now. Maybe, I admit, I think I convinced myself that any expectation from a man was oppression, even reasonable expectations, like reciprocity in friendship. Therapist nods. Feminism is about equality, she says, not about being exempt from being a good person. That hits hard. Start actually being a better friend to my female friends too. Ask them about their lives, offer to help them, show up when they need me, realize I've been kind of a taker in most of my relationships. It's uncomfortable to admit. See Jake one more time, randomly. We're both at the same coffee shop, different times than we used to go. He's there with that girl from Instagram. They're laughing about something. He looks up and sees me. We make eye contact. He gives me a small nod. Not cold, not warm, just acknowledgement. I nod back. And that's it. He goes back to his conversation. I order my coffee and leave, and it's okay. It hurts, but it's okay. I'm not the victim here. He's not the villain. We were just two people who had different ideas of what our relationship was. And he was brave enough to walk away when it wasn't serving him. That's not nice guy behavior. That's actual self-respect. Something I'm only now learning about. Sitting in my apartment that night, thinking about everything. All my talking points about toxic masculinity and male entitlement. They weren't wrong exactly, but I was applying them wrong. Using them as a shield to avoid accountability. Jake wasn't toxic for having feelings for me. He wasn't entitled for wanting a balanced friendship. He wasn't punishing me by leaving. He was just choosing himself, the way I'd been choosing myself for 6 years. The difference is, I was choosing myself at his expense, and I didn't even realize it. Oh my God, I didn't even realize it. I was so convinced of my own righteousness, so sure that being a feminist meant I was incapable of being the problem. But feminism isn't a shield against being a shitty person. It's not a free pass to use people. It's not an excuse to lack empathy. I've spent years deconstructing everyone else's behavior, analyzing every man's actions through a lens of patriarchy and oppression. But I never turned that analysis on myself. Never asked if my behavior was ethical. Just assumed that because I was a woman, I was automatically in the right. That's not feminism. That's just narcissism with academic language. Holy shit. I can see it all now. Like really see it. Years of interactions playing out differently in my head. All the times I centered myself. All the times I expected support without giving it. All the times I dismissed men's feelings because male tears or whatever. Some men are trash, absolutely. But some men are just people. People who can be hurt. People who deserve reciprocity. People like Jake. I'm crying now. Not pretty crying. Like ugly sobbing. Grieving the friendship. Grieving the person I thought I was. Grieving the certainty I had about everything. It's terrifying to realize you've been wrong. That your whole framework for understanding the world was incomplete. That you hurt someone because you couldn't see past your own ideology. I can't go back and fix it with Jake. That ship has sailed. And honestly, he deserves better than me trying to assuage my guilt. But I can do better going forward. I can be better. Not because I owe it to men, but because I owe it to myself to be a good person, a whole person, someone with empathy and self-awareness. Someone who doesn't hide behind theory to avoid accountability. This is what actual growth feels like. It's uncomfortable as fuck, but it's real. More real than any righteousness I felt before. I was so sure I was right about everything, so certain I had it all figured out, And I was just blind, willfully blind, using feminism as a weapon instead of a tool for actual equality. Equality means I have to be equal too. Equal in effort, equal in empathy, equal in responsibility. It's not just about fighting oppression. It's about being fair, being human, treating others how I want to be treated. Basic shit that I somehow made complicated. I'm sitting here in my apartment, really seeing myself for the first time, and I don't like everything I see. But at least I'm finally looking. At least I'm finally aware. Aware that I was wrong. Aware that I hurt someone. Aware that my ideology became my blind spot. Aware that I have so much work to do on myself. Actually, on myself this time. Not performing wokeness. Not collecting victim points. Not theorizing about systems. Just being a better human. Acknowledging when I've been the problem, taking responsibility, growing. This is what self-awareness feels like. It fucking sucks, but it's necessary. And maybe, just maybe, it's the beginning of actually becoming the person I always thought I was.